or adult, if you're at a baseball game, you're reminded that you want to catch a foul ball or home run basically as soon as the first one lands out of play. As a grown-up, it's a bad look to go running and diving around the stadium for a ball, especially when you're around kids, so don't be the man-baby in the crowd. Know going in that if there's a race or a scramble for the ball that has kids involved, if you don't give it to them, it's a bad look and you're going to get booed. Therefore, most of the tips going forward here are for kids who want a surefire way to leave a baseball game with their own souvenir. It sounds weird and serious, but the first thing you should do when you walk out into the seats is to take stock of what kind of stadium you're in. Where are you sitting or standing? In a crowd or out on the edges? Does the stadium have anywhere to go in the outfield? Is the roof flat, or will foul balls roll back down into the seats? Stuff like that. Here's a little step-by-step guide to my 2 home stadiums, which you can go and apply to yours. Here's the main seating bowl at Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania. There's about 5,000 seats here, but it's not a very deep stadium in terms of how many rows high it is, so you've got the net knocking the ball down, you've got some going up into the club level, which hangs pretty close to the field, and there's a flat roof, so what goes up isn't going to come back down. For ease of getting a ball, I'll give the bowl a 2 out of 4. Down over the Mason-Dixon line is Leidos Field at Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen, Maryland. The big seating bowl here seats a few more, and it's a little more wide open. The upper club level doesn't hang out over the bowl very much. Plus, there's a pitched roof. When a foul ball goes up and out over the seats, if it hits that and doesn't skip over the top, it's going to roll back down. You'll know it. The crowd's watching, the PA announcer and the sound guy might do something to get your attention, so the odds go up, and I'm going to give it a 3 out of 4 ranking. The Aberdeen Stadium has a feature down there that York doesn't, in that the seats are divided by an open concourse splitting them in half. It makes it easier to move around the stadium. I'm not going to necessarily encourage it, but kids can run back and forth on it when a foul starts bouncing around or rolling from the roof, and it serves as like a funnel for foul balls. If you're a kid hungry for one, this is a 4 out of 4. Now the dugouts. They're right there, it's so tempting. But the players are busy, they're doing their thing down there. If you bug them during the game, you're not going to get anywhere. Maybe afterwards when they're packing up, so 2 out of 4 there. Bullpens are another question mark. Depends where you are. Are they down the baselines? Are the seats near them? In York, that's a yes, it's all there on the right. In Aberdeen, they're past the outfield walls and out of reach, so you're not going to get anything out of them. In some stadiums, they're right in front of you, chairs and benches snug up against the front row, and because of that, they get a steady stream of kids wandering down asking for a ball. All game. Like seen here in Southern Maryland, where they're kind of messing with them. Here's the deal with the bullpen pitchers. They don't have an unlimited supply of baseballs with them. They need them. If they start passing them out to everyone who goes down and asks nicely, that supply runs low, fast. Plus, there's this thing that bullpen guys do now where they don't make any attempt to try and stop or catch the foul balls that come near them, so they won't even have that to toss to you. What you see in some places though, and maybe it happens more when it's not out in the open near the field in the dugout, is something like a cup game, where they'll set out a water cup in front of them, and if you can toss a quarter in the cup, they'll toss you up a ball. Then all that money goes to, whatever for them at the end of the year. Might not always be encouraged, but it's something to keep an eye out for before you go and bug them. It doesn't happen in York though, so they're just getting 2 out of 4. The ball boys, the keepers of the balls. They have a huge bag or bucket right next to them by the end of the dugout, but it is literally their job to get them back and forth to home plate, and not to you. Don't bother asking. Field of play, meaning anywhere out in the grass or warning track. Here's where you can get busy. If the base coach gets a foul ball, he might be looking to toss it into the crowd. If the team gets the third out in the field, they might be looking to toss it up into the crowd. I guarantee there will be a few of these every game, so if you see them waving it around, wave back, hold your glove up, and you're in business. There's the spaces that I'll call the outer reaches of the stadium. The last few sections of seats are the last ones to be sold, so if it's not a packed crowd, chill over there and your odds instantly go up. And above them, those picnic areas, group seating areas, and walkways, they're prime spots for some long foul balls that start bouncing around, and they aren't going to be knocked down by the netting. This is a grade A location, 3 out of 4. Here are the outfield berms, which is a fancy way of saying the lawn section, the grass out beyond the outfield that stadiums like to include. You see it and your mind starts thinking you can go out there and snag a home run, but the odds aren't really all that great for that. Here it occupies right field. Most home runs in the stadium go to left field. There's more right-handed hitters pulling that way. Best bet is maybe if an outfielder tosses you the third out ball, so, 2 out of 4. The outfield areas, all the other space out past the walls where anything goes. In York, there's a row of benches, then a picnic area, a kid's playground with a merry-go-round, and other stadiums have restaurants, beaches, bumper boats, whatever else they want to include. Same deal with the grass. You might get lucky and get the rare home run sailing out, but there's so much going on and so much in the way, you need it to be empty to have a chance before someone else. And in Aberdeen, there is no outfield area. You can't walk all the way around, everything is contained to the bowl, so obviously it's out of the question. The street? Yeah, even outside of the stadium. If you're leaving early or arriving late, keep an eye out for a foul ball sailing up and over everything, because it's got to come down somewhere. In York, it's not a bad idea to actually go hunting in the grass past the left field line for some balls that went out, even as early as batting practice. I'll give it a surprise 2 out of 4. So there you have my guide to all of the different stadium features to help you out. And if all else fails and you just gotta walk out of there with the ball, hang out after the game for a few minutes and start asking around. The players, the coaches, the staff, they might be willing to help out, as long as you're a fan of the home team.